So I've already showed my audience that I've got a list of 10, and now I'm going to say, here's the first tip. Know your audience and objective, and I can talk about that as long as I want, and there's nothing there to distract them. When I'm ready to move on to number 2, which is tell your story with visual information, notice how number 1 faded into the background. And number 3 has not yet appeared, so they can't read ahead of me. Here's number 3, label graphs for easy reading. If we wanted to jump ahead to 45 and 46, those slides will give an example of that. We don't need to do that again. You know how that works. Use color with restraint and to help convey meaning is number 4. And once again, the first 3 have faded away. We're reminded that they're there. We're not invited to read ahead. Here's number 5, put meaning or message in your headlines. That one's worth an extra word. Let me do that now. So often people waste the headline on their slide. That's the best opportunity to almost shout at your audience. The headline talks in a louder voice than the rest of the slide. Why not say something important in the headline? It's a very important tip, I believe. Number 6, less is more. Some great architects, Mies van der Rohe, followed that dictum or that guidance, didn't he? When we say it here, we mean less is more easily understood, it's more easily digested, it's more easily remembered, less is more impactful. So sometimes less is more. If your message is simple and straightforward, that's a good example of less is more. Number 7, number every page. Use appendix pointers to help your audience navigate. Number 8, these 3 pages should follow the title page. We've talked of one of them already. Let that first page be, or page number 2, right after your title page. Let that be your note to future readers. The next page after that, perhaps, ought to be a glossary of acronyms and jargon that you are going to use in the presentation. And perhaps the next slide ought to be Q&A ground rules. Let the audience know up front whether you're willing to take questions during the presentation or whether you'd like them to hold their questions till the end. So we think those 3 slides ought to come up right in front of the presentation. It'll make the rest of the presentation go much better. Number 9, don't let your visuals or handouts compete with the presenter for audience attention. And number 10, use numbers instead of bullets sometimes. Notice I've now got 10 things on the page here. If I want you to go back to the one that says put meaning or message in your headlines, all I need to do is say, let's take another look at number 5. What if those were all bullets? How would I draw your attention to number 5? So at least sometimes use numbers instead of bullets. So on the issue of structuring your deck, let me just quickly summarize. Your deck must make a conscious effort to serve both types of audiences, the live group audience and the individual reader. You must explain in the first slide after the title slide how you've done that. And you do that with a note to future users of this file. Okay, enough said about how to structure the deck.